Hello everyone, this is Ketchup here again, and it's going to be another run through. This one, very special indeed. Triborg in Ultimate MK3, courtesy of Ultimate MK3 Plus. He's a super secret hidden character via the Ultimate Combat Code, and you have to select him by basically picking Robot Smoke, holding down, and then high punch. And then boom, Triborg. What is Triborg in this game? Triborg is a mix of all three cyborgs, as you've probably expected, but the way it's been done by the Ultimate MK3 Plus team has been super interesting. Essentially, you get access to all of their special moves for the different Borgs, and when you do one of their specials, you are locked into that character for X amount of frames. I believe it's about 128. Now, you do have universal moves. The Sector Dialer combos are the ones that you get as a base, which is absolutely wonderful because it means you can relaunch and you can get like a nice little damage ender after the relaunch. But you get access to the other robot strings if you've done their specials. Now, I believe the air throw is always available, as is Cyrax's air throw, Robot Smoke as well. And at the same time, you get access to the teleports. So Cyrax's teleport is always there too. What this really excites me for is that you can do some super interesting combos that really combine everything, and you get access to all of their fatalities, as I try and demonstrate in this video. Now, I don't get every single one, don't you worry. I'm not particularly amazing at them, and sometimes you're not in the right position to do it. But we give it a good go. And how about that? There's even a little unique character icon, which I find really, really cool. So, what I really like the most, I think, about Ultimate MK3 Plus is the inclusion of the extra characters. In the original beta, the first beta, Rain was the sort of big standout character that was put together. And in this version, there's a lot more. Noob Saibot was the next character that really took the spotlight, remade to kind of be the 16-bit era, the trilogy era of Noob Saibot. That's super, super interesting. But what I love the most about all of it is that it's functioning perfectly in Ultimate MK3, so you've got the correct frame rate, you've got the correct performance, and it truly does feel like these characters exist in Ultimate MK3, which, you know, for a ROM hack, that is incredibly satisfying, because it doesn't feel like this kind of like almost fan-made style. It feels the way it should. And that's kind of a little introduction, I suppose, as we have gone through 2 of these matches already. And it's just an opportunity to kind of see what this character can do. I'd love to play PvP with this character, because there's so much you could do in the neutral, but when you're going up against the arcade ladder, you've got to be a little bit more specific. You know, the AI is notorious for its move reading, and I kind of had to put a bit of a Triborg gameplay together just to kind of beat the AI. So, you know, you can't run in and do dialer combos, they'll just throw you straight away. You got to be careful with certain moves. That right there is, you know, Sector's launching string, but you can actually go into Smoke's harpoon. You know, so even if you're not able to relaunch your character, you can get more than just high punch, jump kick, and then maybe a sweep, depending on the character that you're against. So that's a clean little round there. I don't go completely undefeated in this run, or at least, you know, when it comes to rounds anyway. You get to see the AI-specific combos. You know, you've got the Nomad Dash, Jump Kick, Nomad Dash. Love it, love it. And when I say love it, I mean extremely hate it, because, you know, it's Cabal. So I try and be a bit cheeky here, and I'm trying to do, like, the bomb in the corner. They'll move read and run in and combo you the second you do a bomb, but if you're in the corner, you can kind of trade that damage out a little bit, and I think that's really cool. And he tries to go for a jump in, immediately pays the price for it, and there's another one. Smoke fatality, how about that? But what you can do, and this is what I love, is Cyrax Bomb on its own allows you to use other moves, including the Teleport Punch. You know, the Teleport Punch has a very small hit limit, and that's just a general thing for both Sector and Smoke. You can do Cyrax Bomb anywhere on screen, into a Teleport Punch, into a combo ender, whether it's going to be a harpoon, whether it's going to be a Teleport Punch into Jump Kick Air Throw, and that does about 55% damage, so you do get some absolutely fantastic damage enders. Scorpion and Human Smoke really good at beating that Sector Smart Missile. Lots and lots of invincibility there. And that's one of the reasons I think Human Smoke gives Sector such trouble, because the Smart Missile is Sector's arguably greatest tool, in my opinion, and the spear is completely invincible, and then the strings often have a lot of invincibility on them too, so it's not really something that you can do in the matchup, and even the AI is able to exploit it. Completely messed up my combo there. I tried to go for a jump kick at first, and I was like, nah, I'm going to go for a standing button, and it completely messed up. I even said to myself here, yeah, I deserve to lose that one. But if I was to play against like real human opponents with this character, the game plan would be so much different, because you've got the utility of the smoke and the sector, but you've also got the sort of neutral of the bombs that Cyrax has. There are some matchups where Cyrax bombs can be quite scary to deal with, and if you're able to do them without the AI, just move reading and running in and destroying you for it, it's really fun and interesting. I think I go for some of the classic stuff here. Yeah, we get a full combo. Not quite enough to get the kill, but the jump kick always forces the AI to crouch. And this is the element of the AI matches that you play. You know, the jump kick forward, they often either try and jump in or they'll crouch. You jump back and then do a kick, they'll always, you know, go for a projectile. If you've ever seen a speedrun of this game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's an interesting one where who arguably is going to be the best character to use here? You know, what combination would you put forward with this character? Because against the AI, it's Robot Smoke for sure. Robot Smoke is the best character at fighting the computer because you can counter the move reading with the highest damage and the best situations afterwards. Whereas against a real person, this is where I'm like, okay, well, hang on. The neutral of having both bombs and smart missile, that's going to be kind of good, because if a smart missile is on the screen, you can't do bombs because you're locked into sector, but the second that missile is gone, you can pretty much frame one. And there you go, you can see a full combo here straight off the back, and look how much damage you get! Look at how much damage you get. But as I was saying, you know, it's frame one, the moment that missile is gone, you can start doing bombs again, so I think this character would be super interesting at a high level. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to play it myself. But, you know, story for another time, I suppose. And what you're seeing here is another one of the classics. You know, so I just got a bomb before, managed to get a pickup, get another full combo. That's half life for a single bomb, which is why if you are against the computer and you do a bomb in the corner, you can definitely take the risk. You know, you can take the risk here and go for the bomb trade. It's unlikely they'll do as much damage as you. Now I go for a mercy, thinking I can remember how to do Sector's animality, and I can't. Completely forgot, and it didn't work. So here's Noob Saibot. Noob Saibot was I think the most obvious character that was put forward in Ultimate MK3+. This is a ROM hack. It was made by a very, very talented group of people that kind of just went into the game's code, you know, and they just started adding things. I don't know how they do it. I do not have the first idea over how they've put this together, but it is thoroughly, thoroughly impressive stuff. If I did a jump kick into a spear, I think I definitely would have been able to get the harpoon there, but the extra punch just sort of removed the hit limit, as it were, so you got to be certainly careful with those kind of combos and remember what combos into what, you know, if you're going to play this character, because they all have their own rules. You know, the net will give you different stuff. That was Sector's regular combo string off Cyrax net, whereas under, you know, the right circumstances, you get access to Cyrax's dialer combos, which will do high damage on its own, but without Sector's one, you can't relaunch. And I think we try and go for a bomb. Nope, don't get it. We don't manage to get it. And now here I'm like, okay, well, what do I go for? If I do a bomb, he's going to kill me. Maybe the missile will get him. Nah, he was way too fast. And near the corner, unlikely I was going to be able to do anything. There's Smoke's Disabler. Really, really good. It is not as good as it was. You know, it doesn't last very long. And they did do everything they can to sort of remove the infinites and stuff like that Noob Saibot was extremely infamous for. And I got to say, he's a really fun character. You know, maybe at some point I'll do an arcade run with him instead, because Noob Saibot in this game is sick. He's like a really fun version of the character. I mean, Noob Saibot was always fun because he's super broken, but this being a more sensible version of the character, I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. And there's even more specific things. You know, Cyrax can go for a jump kick ender, and as long as the opponent is airborne, you could whiff the air throw to cover in the distance. That was a very common Cyrax tactic. Pick it up. Ooh. Give me that combo, mate. Give me that big old combo. Love it. If AI Striker knew how to do the infinites, the arcade run against him would certainly be much harder. And I've really enjoyed playing this character because, I mean, my favorite characters to play in the game are pretty much all of the robots. You know, I would say high level. You know, when I sort of play against really good people, I love to pick Sector. Obviously my favorite character. Cyrax is incredibly fun. I know Cyrax and Sector are both not particularly strong characters anyway, but I do really, really enjoy playing both of them. And then Robot Smoke is actually a pretty good character on his own anyway. So that's really, really, really good. And being able to play all three in the same character, it's kind of just everything coming full circle almost. Now, this was probably my favorite matchup. This is the endurance round, and it's a Cyrax and Sector endurance. That's not why it was my favorite. You'll see why it was my favorite in due time. AI, Sector, and Smoke are quite easy to fight because if you jump in with a kick, they'll always do an uppercut, and it will always miss. So it gives you some pretty substantial punishes if you have the combos down for the teleport punish. Which, if you play enough Ultimate MK3, you will get that punish, because if you fight Smoke and Sector, that move comes out a lot. And I'm like, right, what am I going to do here then? Kind of weak. Cyrax is going to get the win. Give me that swift little backhand. Net versus net. So rude. And now we're going to be a bit more woken up here. You know, we're ready to go. Punish. Mustard was streaming at the same time, so we do get some extra sound effects. I actually can't tell if that played on my OBS just now or whether it played in the video itself. I guess we'll find out when this is complete. But no, it's time. It's time. I told you I've got those relaunches, man. I told you. Ooh. If you're going to play Sector in this game, learn the relaunches against the robots. You'll thank me for it later. Big old punish. We got some Sector in the last round thanks to the relaunch, and now it's time to just go in for that Smoke. Big combo there. Being able to get teleport punch into the homing missile. Under the right circumstances, you can get some unique combos that are quite unpractical, but they're awesome when you land them. You know, if you can set up a homing missile to do like teleport punch and then the missile hits later, you can still pick up, especially near the corner, and it gives you ridiculous damage. Don't quite manage to get my teleport punch there. And there we go again. That's another round, done and dusted. And a classic, I say classic fatality sound. That fatality sound, that's the first time I've ever heard it in Ultimate MK3+. You know, I don't think it's in the regular game, and I haven't heard it since. So I don't know, maybe I did something special, or maybe it's just a very random chance, I don't know. Now, this endurance is a Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot endurance. I wasn't sure if this was a 2-character or 3-character endurance, and I will be honest, I do kind of in this round especially cheese it a little bit. I'm like, look, I want to get straight to the bosses. I want to start doing Triborg versus the bosses and see what's up. I don't really want to get stuck against 3 move-reading AI ninjas, if there is 3 of them. And I'm almost dead, so I'm like, you know what? Nah, it's time to go back to the classic. This works with Sector, this works with Robot Smoke. So technically, still rocking 2 characters for the price of 1 right there, but that's going to sneakily steal the round away. I'm like, right, I got loads of health, man. I'm going in for the bombs. And he moves out of the way. What a gamer. What a pro gamer Sub-Zero really is. Combo. I love this character, man. I really love this character. I gotta say that the work that went into putting this character together must have been rather complicated. I know Chameleon is fully playable in Ultimate MK3+ as well, and it's, you know, once again that character functions the way Chameleon used to, which is, you know, every X amount of time you'll change into a different character. So that one's been put together wonderfully. It was Tedrusis that put Triborg together, and Tedrusis has done so much work. Got to give huge shout-outs to Drew for what he was able to put together here. I know Ultimate MK3+ is a bit of a group effort, but Drew in particular, especially with Triborg, this was wonderful work. And Motaro, I mean, this is going to be kind of just the Robot Smoke fight, you know, where you're able to kind of just loop him and constantly jump over him. And that's going to be another clean round. Yeah, got to give all the shout-outs in the world for Drew in particular. I'll link the Twitter and everything else. Drew actually does have a YouTube page too, where there's quite a lot of behind the scenes for putting this stuff together as well. Some interesting videos that go into like the real nitty-gritty of how the AI works and how certain mechanics can work as well. It's super fascinating stuff, and it's all stems from going into the game code and just actually figuring out exactly what's happening. Fascinating stuff if you're a MK super nerd like me, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'll definitely link Drew's YouTube, so you can check out some cool arcade runs. Drew did do a Chameleon arcade run actually recently. One of the things that inspired me to do a Triborg version essentially, because that Chameleon run was a lot of fun to watch. Like, I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite runs I think I've seen in classic Mortal Kombat. Shao Kahn goes for a taunt. Completely messed this up. Can't remember how this round goes actually, but by the looks of things, not so good. and I forget that he goes further back when you hit him with a teleport, and that's a shoulder. Lovely. Takes the first round. You know what, Shao Kahn? I'll give that to you. I'll give it to you. Charity games. Punish! Fighting Shao Kahn's quite fun, because I never really had any Cyrax strats. You know, Sector, I used to play against Shao Kahn boss all the time, so you should just do arcade runs with him. Wake up spear? Mate, you want to try and cheese me out with unblockables or meaty stuff in the corner? I'm going to cheese you out. Check this out. Loop it. Speedrun strats, mate. Speedrun strats. Final round. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing through it. I'd love to, at some point, you know, get some games in and kind of just see how Triborg functions against a real opponent, because I've got so many ideas for how I would play this character, but you know, if you're in Europe and you play classic Mortal Kombat, it's quite slim pickings when it comes to actually finding matches to play, and that's punishable on hit. Shao Kahn goes in for it. Now, normally I would just kind of roll the credits and roll the Patreon support, of which I massively appreciate to this day. Thank you all so much. There is a unique ending. They made an ending for Triborg, and I thought it was pretty cool. So let's go for the ending now. Let's give it a read, and I want to thank you all for watching. This was a lot of fun. More videos to come as always. It's time for Triborg's tournament outcome. In a distant era of combat, the Lin Kuei Master Sub-Zero carefully creates the mighty Triborg. Unable to travel to the past himself, Sub-Zero sends Triborg to destroy Kahn and save Earth. The deadly machine quickly succeeds, but its next task requires even more power. Sub-Zero now instructs Triborg to kill his past self. With this sacrifice, the warrior is slain and eliminated from the future, but his soul possesses Triborg's body. Now piloted by Sub-Zero and having the ability to control ice, this even more lethal Triborg is equipped to enter the Netherrealm and annihilate Shinnok and his minions. It will protect the realms at all costs. I think that's sick. Thanks all for watching. Love you as always. Stay tuned and I'll see you next time. Shout outs to the Ultimate MK3 Plus team, and especially Drew for all this hard work. Thank you and take care. Goodbye.